Hi, I'm Beth Schultz, Program Co-Chair for Enterprise Connect and Editor of Node Jitter. I'm here today with Scott Johnston, who is Director of Real-Time Communications for G Suite at Google. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. So, Scott, this is your first year keynoting at Enterprise Connect, but it's not Google's first time up on the keynote stage.
True.
It's been here so this is actually the third year for Google. Can you tell me what's changed between, its first appearance and today's appearance?
It's a great question. I think, over the last 3 years, there's a number of things that have really changed for us. One is I think we've been able to demonstrate our doubling down on the enterprise space. I think one key thing was Diane Green joining us. She was on our board, and she founded VMware, and she's now heading up cloud, which includes G Suite. And she's just been a great leader for us to rally behind in terms of just her experience in the enterprise, her relationships in the enterprise. And so that's been great. I think also from a product standpoint, when we've been able to invest in things from the enterprise to start. So a lot of our past successes come from taking a consumer successful app and modifying that to be useful in the enterprise. But for us, we've been able to now start with native enterprise apps, things like Cloud Search, Jamboard, was developed with meeting rooms at the core. How do you help teams collaborate? And so I think that those kinds of products coming to market, App Maker's another one, which allows IT departments to quickly spin up custom apps that are compliant and follow all of the standard compliance processes around data loss protection and things like that. Those kinds of things we've been able to focus on with this doubling down on enterprise, and I think that's been great. I think that's been a big change. I think another has been really our focus on intelligence. We've really leaned into that area across Google, but also within G Suite, and that's about really eliminating the steps. These steps that in some cases we've created ourselves, but there's productivity tools have introduced actually a number of these mundane steps that we just feel like we can get rid of. So something like the Meet bot can schedule for you with a very simple conversation command, which in the past has been a number of steps. And so I think that's a big piece. We've also then finally in the last 3 years we've made a lot of great progress on compliance in general. And so you're seeing us announce and support for a number of different areas that I think really make cloud possible for a lot of these highly regulated industries. Mm-hmm. So it can cover a wide swath of customers, where before it was really the early adopters.
Okay. I think there was an interesting stat that you guys shared during your keynote that one disruption can take you out of productivity. Take you out of your productivity flow for like a half an hour or something like that.
It's really incredible.
It is crazy. That is really crazy. So when we think about enterprise communications and collaboration, there's so much out there, and particularly within the team collaboration space right now. Obviously it's a very hot topic. Everybody's chasing.
There are other people doing this? It is.
Hate to break it to you,
I've never seen anything. I really in enterprise software, I don't think I've seen a space this. It's every day we hear about new things. It's incredible.
Right, and so why should people come to you? What's so special about Google Hangouts Meet? What's so special about Hangouts Chat? What's so special about Jamboard?
And I think let me start just with, if we look at G Suite in general, we've over the last 10 years, with the focus on productivity, I think we have a number of areas that are extremely valuable, we believe, to teams. Something like Docs and Drive and Team Drives, Gmail alone in terms of how you can manage your email communications. I think that one thing that's important for our customers to understand is that obviously we're providing Hangouts Meet and Chat, but we're also partnering with solutions that are similar. So last year we announced a really tight partnership with Slack, for example. And if you prefer Slack over Hangouts Meet and Chat, then we want you to be able to do that and still use G Suite and get the advantages of Drive and Docs. And so I think you'll see us announce a number of things like that where we really want our customers to be able to choose what they want, but still be able to embrace the G Suite products. Now, when we look specifically at Meet and Chat and Jamboard, I think that if I start with Jamboard, one is that it's cloud native. It started, we have a long history of experience with collaborative cloud-based applications. And I think we've successfully done that with Jamboard, which is, it really is, it's something you can access from anywhere, from any device, supports real-time collaboration, which is exactly what a whiteboard is in a room, but now can be across the world. So I think that's a big differentiator for us with Jamboard. And then it's integrated into the rest of the suite, which I think goes without saying. When it comes to Meet, I think what we've really obsessed about is the frictionless experience, and I think it's something that we as technologists have overlooked often. Like, I feel like we've declared success on video meetings like 17 times.
Right.
And I think this was something we noticed when we talked to our customers, was like, I think we just haven't solved these very simple friction points, and that's a huge amount of frustration. Once we looked at the back of the napkin, the kind of losses that 5 minutes for every meeting would cost Google alone, and it's astronomical. And that's just the cost of the time. We're not talking about the interruption and the fact that then you're keeping people longer, probably because the meeting needs to go longer. So I think that for me, more than anything, that's what we focused on. So something like, you don't need a plugin, you don't need an account, you don't need a data connection. Like, these are things that I think are fundamental to Meet and make it really stand out. There's a number of features that I think you'll see us just improve on, from recording to meeting sizes. But at the core, what we're just going to obsess about is this friction. For chat, to me, it's the platform and taking advantage of really what is the greater Google Cloud infrastructure. So something like Google Apps Script, which allows you to write scripts without any machines, any setup, and fully access all of the G Suite objects, and then anything that G Suite's integrated with. So you can write a script that pulls data from a third party, because those third parties have integrated with G Suite and AppScript.
Does that include Slack? I mean, we mentioned Slack before, and you mentioned a Slack integration with G Suite.
Yep. Yeah, so like, for example, you can, Slack is, we announced, I think it was November last year, integration with Docs and Drive, and through that you could access Slack. I think the core AppScript APIs will reach across boundaries like that. I don't know the specifics of how far into Slack, but I can look into that. I think that in general, though, what that gives you from a platform standpoint is the ability for just about anybody to quickly automate a team process and be that builder. And the more people that we feel are building and tweaking workflows, the more efficient a team gets. And so when a program manager without a lot of programming experience can quickly script, changes in a spreadsheet that fire into the team room and notify people of things changing, it's even something small like that can mean a lot for a workflow. And so that, I think, the platform plus of things, lightweight things like that, through the intelligent bots, is really what I think differentiates Hangouts Chat with the market, and our experience in intelligence and our experience in natural language processing.
So let's talk quickly about the bots and the intelligence.
Yeah.
You demoed at Meet, which is very cool. I would love to have that capability myself, I know. So what else can we expect to see in terms of the types of intelligence that you might integrate into Chat and Meet? Hey Voice, are we going to see voice interfaces as well?
And I think it comes back to that core focus on eliminating steps. How do you, something like, let me give you an example, something like as simple, here we have a collaborative document editor, and if you had a meeting with 5 people, to create and then share that document for a shared notes document is somewhere between 13 and 17 steps, depending on how you do it. And so when a bot with one very simple command, create a notes doc and share it with the meeting, can do that, you're eliminating massive amounts of friction. Right. And so I think you should expect to see a number of bots grow up in that area. And Meet's a critical one, because we just hear so much feedback from our customers that just the time they spend trying to manage their calendars is intense. And so I think Meet will be a big step, just because all of a sudden cognitively, you're not even having to think about that problem. You're just saying, find me a time. And especially as it learns, I think I'm most excited about a lot of the habits it can learn around what you're willing to move, and how, what is a one-on-one easier to move versus a 5-person meeting, and it'll come in and it'll send you emails that suggest those kinds of things. So I'm really excited about that. As that machine learns your habits, I think it can really be an accelerant. But then it's not just about integrating our products, it's also about really getting third-party intelligence in there. And that's just recognizing that we're in this world of just explosive technology that's there's just so many tools now available to help teams be efficient. And I mentioned in the keynote things like Asana, Box, Zendesk, all of which I think by integrating those into the team rooms, you're just multiplying the efficiency of these teams. So.
Great. So Scott, why don't you just quickly remind us Meet, Chat, Jamboard availability, and then also let our audience know where else they can find information about this stuff.
Perfect. So Hangouts Meet is in general availability, so you can go in and any G Suite customer can use it now. We'll be enabling it for consumers soon. The control panel, you can go and enable it in your G Suite control panel. On Hangout, on the Jamboard, we'll take orders in May, and that'll be on gsuite.google.com. And then Hangouts Chat is in early access, so our early access customers will get access to that now, and we collect feedback. We go through a period of evolving the product based on their feedback, and then we go general availability with it after that. All of this and more is available at gsuite.google.com, and we'll continue to post updates, there. And I think that's the best source right now for content.
Okay. Well, Scott, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you again
Ditto.
for taking the keynote stage here at Enterprise Connect and meeting with me now.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you.